If it feels like you've seen this video before, it's probably because it got removed for violating YouTube's violent criminal organization policy, stating that the content glorified violent criminal organizations or incites violence, which is not allowed on YouTube. Just to be safe, I am stating that this video is made for educational purposes only. I would never want to make content that glorifies violent crimes whatsoever, so I've edited some things in and took some things out to prevent another chance of this video being taken down. Now with that all out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Incels have been extremely common in today's society, as the term refers to an online community that are unable to attract women sexually. But instead of moving on from this rejection, some incels have to take violent actions against women, which resulted in them being severely traumatized or even dead. Hello, my name's Bootsers, and in today's video, I'm going to provide you with a detailed insight into the disturbing violent behaviors and actions of incels. So get ready to sit back, relax, and hopefully enjoy the video. This video will go into dark topics including assault, murders, death, and many more. So if you're already in a bad mental state or extremely uncomfortable about the situation, I strongly advise you to please skip this video. Elliot Rodger. Elliot Rodger was a 22-year-old individual who murdered 6 people and injured 14 others as a result of him being a virgin. The stories continue on and reveal how Elliot had always been a happy but a shy child. He had social anxiety, which caused him not to be able to make many friends, and alongside this, he had to sadly understand that his parents are going to be divorced. His social anxiety continued to go on later in his life, and even all the holidays and gifts he received from his wealthy family wouldn't be able to make him feel any better. As he was struggling with his anxiety, he slowly became frustrated because he started developing feelings for girls, but they didn't like him back in the slightest. He reveals his frustration in the videos as he started talking to the camera.
Elliot Rodger here. Right now I'm just taking a walk through the park. I'm just contemplating about my life and how unfair it's been lately. Life has been a living hell ever since I started desiring girls, but they never desired me back. Right now it's spring break. Everyone else my age is out having fun with their friends and their girlfriends. Here I am, taking lonely walks through a park.
He continues on to explain that he felt resentful at his failure of being a virgin. As months and years go by with the same mentality, he completely blamed women for being a virgin, and this mindset worsened as he continued on to adulthood. As with every incel-like behavior, he wanted to punish women for rejecting him, as well as punish sexually active men because he envied them for getting laid. What I saw from these videos was that Elliot not only became an incel, but sadly turned into an arrogant, misogynistic narcissist. He would see couples while he was out and became both envious and jealous of them. Elliot then proceeds to make a series of videos ranting about how he was mad at women for not wanting to date him, but would date other guys instead.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about how sad and unfair my life has been, all because girls haven't been attracted to me. I mean, you give a chance to all these stupid, obnoxious guys that I see you walking with, but you don't give a chance to me. Why not? I'm such a magnificent guy. I'm beautiful. You can't deny that. It's not fair. I don't understand you girls. It's like your sexual attraction is flawed. It's perverted. This world, it's so twisted.
After Elliot claimed that he'd been suffering a twisted and unfair life, he believed that he should have taken action. He made a vile plan on how he would select and kill certain people that he knew, and then after that would take his own life in order to prevent himself from being caught. On the 23rd of May 2014, Elliot started to pursue his plan, starting with stabbing his 2 roommates, George Chen and James Hong, and their friend David Wang to death in their apartment complex. After this, he went to his car and drove off to record one more video, revealing his final thoughts before he continued on with the rest of his plan.
You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me. I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy, and yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men, instead of me, the supreme gentleman. You denied me a happy life, and in turn, I will deny all of you life. You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one, the true alpha male.
After this video was filmed and uploaded, he sent out an 141-page document to his family and therapist talking about how he felt throughout his life. The therapist scanned through his document and immediately called Elliot's parents to warn them that Elliot is going to do something horrendous, but when they found out, it was already too late. Around 9:27 PM, Elliot proceeded to shoot 3 sorority girls, killing 2 of them, Catherine Cooper and Veronica Wiss, but the third victim, Bianca Daycock, survived. Elliot continued on with his rampage and shot up a deli mart, which resulted in a student, Christopher Martinez, being killed. He still continued to drive by and shoot pedestrians nearby, and tried to hit them with his car as well. 3 responding officers were able to come to the scene, which then started a gunfight between Elliot and the police. It resulted in Elliot being shot in the hip and him retreating. Trying to create the most destruction and carnage still before he could bleed out, he hit a cyclist while trying to escape and then crashed his car. To prevent himself from being caught, Elliot grabbed one of his guns and proceeded to shoot himself in the head. And that was the tragic end of the 2014 Isla Vista killings. Jake Davison. Jake Davison was a 22-year-old male who was the main cause of one of the most devastating mass shootings in the United Kingdom just because he couldn't lose his virginity. At a young age, he was diagnosed with autism, which caused a problem for him as he couldn't make a friend, which also made him incredibly lonely. This kept on going throughout his teenage years as he did not make any friends in real life, but tried to turn to the internet to make some online ones. Even though he had fun playing games with online people, it didn't make him feel better. He started to become pessimistic and viewed his life negatively as he couldn't make any friends in real life or even have a girlfriend. He started to vent out his problems about not being able to lose his virginity on his YouTube videos.
Just looking at a girl, I can feel it, you know? Just you know? And I did have girls into me. I had girls into me. Fucking stupid, ridiculous mental barriers, like for me, a lot of the reason I didn't was because I was fat as
After years of Jake being incredibly negative about his life and using social media platforms like Reddit for insight, the ideology that he initially believed about women started to change. Jake started to constantly badmouth his mother on Reddit, took interest in guns and bought himself a shotgun, and continued to post on his YouTube channel about his experiences with women and how it led him to believe how a woman's brain functions.
A lot of women are very simple-minded and they ain't all that bright. You know, social media and thinking they're princesses and all this, they grow up. You know, you talk about intelligence, smartness, you know, women don't give a f*** about none of that unless you got that. You know, do you think they care about the little f***ing autistic kid in the corner who's won the mathematical international Olympiad or whatever the hell? They don't give a f***. If they said, oh yeah, the winning prize is $1.5 million, they'll care then.
These absurd and bizarre beliefs led him to become some sort of entitled misogynist. He strongly believed that he deserves to have, and I quote, a big titty girlfriend. He continues to state that unless men are physically attractive, women will have little to no acknowledgement towards them, finally transforming into becoming a typical incel. Jake's fellow family and relatives started to say that he had become more difficult and violent to be around. This was further pushed as there were 2 instances that was caused by Jake physically assaulting a pair of civilians. From this, Jake was later sent to anger management classes, which seemed to help him get better. However, a month later, Jake's situation took a severe and drastic turn. On the 12th of August 2021, Jake started to take all his frustration and resentment out to the world. He started to argue with his mother, and as a result of him being so rageful, he took out his shotgun and shot her in the chest and face inside her own bedroom. His rampage wasn't done there. He reloaded and walked out to the streets and fatally shot a father and his adopted daughter, Lee and Sophie Martin, to death. After all the noise, residents in the neighborhood started to call the police. But that didn't stop Jake. He ran out and shot anyone he could see, which led to 2 other residents being injured and 2 other innocent civilians, Stephen Washington and Kate Shepard, being killed. In the span of a few minutes, it resulted in 5 people being murdered, 2 others with significant but non-life-threatening injuries, and traumatized countless civilians in the area. After calming down, Jake realized what he has done and that there was no way of escaping going to jail. He cocked his shotgun, turned it towards his head, and pulled the trigger. And that was the end of the tragic event of the 2021 Plymouth shooting. Brandon Clark. Brendan Andrew Clark is a 25-year-old man who is now in jail for murdering a 17-year-old teenage girl, Bianca Davison, just because she liked another dude rather than Brandon. To provide more context to the situation, in Utica, New York 2019, Bianca would commonly go to various social media platforms in order to escape her reality, as it turned out that she had been struggling with mental illnesses for a long period of time. The main platform that she frequently went on was 4chan, Instagram, and Discord. Bianca became quite popular on these platforms because she was only one of the very few amount of girls in a male-dominated community. Because of this, there was a large abundance of simps and orbiters falling for Bianca, as she had similar interests to them, as well as them finding her extremely beautiful. And what can you guess? One of these individuals turned out to be Brandon. Brandon and Bianca started DMing each other and started to get along. It turned out that they had quite a few things in common, such as using 4chan because they were both lonely and looking for friends, and both had negative experiences with old abusive men. Fast forwarding, after Brandon and Bianca started talking, they started to bond together and became very good friends. From this, Brandon started to make sexual advances in the DMs as he started developing feelings for Bianca. However, Bianca rejected the offers as she wanted them just to remain friends and nothing more. Even though Brandon knew that she said no, he continued referring to Bianca as his girlfriend to others behind her back, which is just saying is a huge fucking red flag. As they still kept on talking to each other, Brandon invited Bianca to a concert as he wanted to meet in person. Bianca accepted to go, and Brandon picked her up and drove them both to the concert on the 14th of July 2019. Once they entered the concert, both walked around for a while, and without Brandon's knowledge, it turned out that Bianca invited her other online friend named Alex to the concert as well. While the three were talking, Brandon decided to go to his car to get something, but when he came back, he saw that Bianca and Alex were kissing. At that moment, it caused Brandon's nice guy charade to turn into an angry entitled incel in a split of a second. Once the concert was finished and Brandon and Bianca left the area, Brandon out of rage pulled a knife from the backseat of his car and slit her throat. Within a matter of seconds, Bianca Davison was dead. Typically, when someone murders another person, they try to hide the evidence and pretend nothing happened. But no. Brandon took a photo and posted it onto a Discord server. After posting the photo, Brandon proceeds to go on a small rant out of anger. Sorry fuckers, you're gonna have to find somebody else to orbit. He then goes on to say where he has done the murder, how he may have committed necrophilia, brought up PewDiePie out of nowhere, and puts partial blame on Alex, saying that if he didn't kiss Bianca, she would have been still alive. Brandon continues to post Instagram stories about how he felt, and even includes the photos of Bianca's fucking lifeless body in some of them. After, Brandon dials 911 and reveals what he has done.
911, what is the emergency?
My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins. I'm going to myself.
Just stay on the line with me, okay?
No, I'm not going to stay in line with you. I'm going to be dead on the ground.
After the call, the police found the location where Brandon was and saw him with a knife next to a fire. Brandon couldn't end up harming himself and was later detained by the police. The police put out the fire, and what they found was Brandon's laptop as well as the remains of Bianca Davison. In police custody, it turned out that Brandon was extremely interested in how the public will see this. He wanted this situation to be out to the public and become famous to reveal to others that he wasn't some sort of pushover. Weirdly, even though he said he committed the crime, he pleaded not guilty to the second-degree murder of Bianca Davison. But shortly after that, the police were able to get back Brandon's deleted search history, which revealed how he stalked Bianca and searched for various ways to kill her. He was caught red-handed and didn't know what else to do, so he changed his plea to guilty. 2 years later, on March 16, 2021, the judge sentenced Brandon Clark to 25 years to life in prison.